Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. Under that blanket is Potato, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and I'm back again for another Amberlynn read vlog. And you know what? Since Poe wants to hide in the blankets, which I honestly don't blame him, to be fair, like it is freezing in Chicago today, so I want him to stay warm if he wants to, and since he is hiding, well, I'm sure he'll come out at some point, let's be honest. He always knocks the blanket over, goes onto the ground, and does something else. But anyways, since he's in hiding, right now at least, let me put up this adorable photo I took of Judy earlier today. She's just the cutest little girly pop, and also they're overdue for grooming because the groomer had to reschedule with us, so just hold on tight. They'll be looking super cute. I mean, they already are cute, but even cuter in a few days when they go to the groomer. Anyways, we have a video to react to. I can't wait to get into it, but before we do, I want to thank today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Scentbird. If you're anything like me, you might not really know a lot about fragrances, perfumes, colognes, what you like, what you don't like. I only wear cologne on like a special occasion, right? Like I don't wear it every day. I wear it when I want to smell nice and things like that. And so I don't know specifically all the things I need to know about like what scents work for me and what scents don't work for me. And Scentbird is great for that because it is a subscription service where you pay about $17 a month and get to try out new scents every month. All of the scents they send are designer scents, so you don't have to spend a lot of money to try out new and fancy scents that you might not normally want to spend a lot of money on, not knowing what they smell like. And they come in these fun little tubes that are easy to change out, like this. It's just like that. And they switch on and off like this so that you don't accidentally spray it somewhere as well. My favorite scents tend to be like a musky scent, a masculine, quote unquote masculine scent. This month, Scentbird really came through in the scents that they sent me. In particular, this scent that they sent me is called Nothing But Sea and Sky. And it has notes of bergamot, sandalwood, and white musk, which is just like the perfect scent that I like to smell like. They also sent me this scent called Padre, which has scents of cardamom, ambroxan, leather, fig, and sandalwood. And then this one has a really French sounding name, and y'all know I have a history of struggling with French. It's Les Nuits de Bali. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that at all correctly, but it has notes of patchouli, saffron, and oud. All three of these actually fit within the profile of like things I like to smell like, although you do occasionally get some stuff that you don't enjoy the smell of, and that's why Scentbird really lets you experiment with new things and try different scents that might not normally be in your profile. You can use my coupon code Zachary55 off to get 55% off your first month at Scentbird. That means it's just a little over $7 for your first month. This offer is available in Canada and the USA. Thanks so much to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get to. Alright, so today's video we're reacting to, it's like clickbait. It's like, I don't know. It's like her clinging on to like the 5 people who think well, it's more than 5 people, but it's her addressing the people who think she's lying, okay? Which is what she's trying to do. It's the brand new year, so she's recentering the whole conversation to be about her weight, even though she also just recently said she's not a weight loss channel. The title of today's video is called Lying About My Weight. I'm so mad at myself. And an earthquake happened. Bar vlog. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say outside of let's just get to, shall we?
Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. I know you guys are used to me starting with a weigh-in, but I already did my weigh-in for today. The video is already up. It's the video up a mile, and today is the same day. I just wanted to come on here just really quickly because I went and I looked at the comments, and you guys are so amazing. Like, thank you guys so much for the support. Like, you guys are just as proud of me that I am for myself. And my mom is super proud.
Love when she surprises me by appreciating the comments, just because she has a history of not being good at that, you know? Like, I mean, I think it's also fair she doesn't want to address any comments, which is honestly also kind of surprising to me right now, because I thought she said that she just hasn't been reading the comments. But you know, with old Amberlynn, it's hard to say. And also maybe her boundary for that changed. I don't know. I thought she wasn't reading them. But you know what? Color me surprised that she is thanking people for their support on how she did. There were a number of people on my comments that were like, Zach, why do you believe she actually walked a mile? And I'm like, to be fair, I don't know that she did. And to also be fair, I don't know how she would actually show that without I don't know how she would film, I guess she could do that, right? I guess she could just film the entire, hour long that it took her to walk the whole... Wasn't it something like that? It took a long time for her to film it. That's why I'm thinking, I don't know how she would be able to do that. Maybe she should do that to prove to people that she actually walked a mile. The other thing is I know she was using an app and she was, showing screenshots of, you walked this far and this long. I think that map can show more, it can show your actual route, but I imagine she doesn't want to do that because obviously that would, expose a lot about where she lives, where she's walking, this, that, the other, which, I also respect. So I don't know the best way for her to actually prove that. In general, I obviously know that she has a history of lying, and when it comes to something inconsequential, like whether or not she actually walked a mile, if she wants me to believe it, then I guess I will. I guess I will, you know?
It's just so amazing because during my walk, actually in the middle of it, I sent her a picture because it's so pretty out. And I was
of lemonade? A picture of lemonade? Or a baseball picture? Which kind of picture did you send her? And did your mom even need that?
Mom, I'm doing my freaking mile. Because I told her about it a few days ago, how I've been thinking about it, thinking about doing it.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, I was feeling like I didn't want to fail, and I was afraid that I actually couldn't do it, and I could. A lot of people are asking me about the app that I used. It's called Map My Walk.
Yeah.
And on it,
oh, anytime there's sirens in her video, I live in Chicago, so there's ambulances, fire trucks, stuff all the time going by, and I just thought that was my own video, so I was like, let me pause so that it doesn't interrupt us all. But I have heard of this app before, or I feel like I've used Map My Run or something like that in the past, but like I said, I'm pretty sure it does actually map out the route you took using GPS and stuff, and so that's why it's I don't know that she could show all that.
There's sirens.
That's sirens in her video, not mine today.
Not sponsored, by the way. I sound sponsored because I'm trying to tell you guys, get it. No, but with this app.
Some people, speaking of sponsorships, I mean, one, this video is sponsored, but two, some people, now what was that? It's from my computer, I'm so sorry. What was I gonna say? Oh, she said that she doesn't take sponsorships in the past because it's too much work or something like that. I know that sounds like something I'm just assuming about her, but I'm pretty sure she said something like that in the past. I would imagine that people would probably want to have sponsor her videos outside of her connection with all the not great things she's done. Maybe that's why she doesn't do sponsorships more often. But the number of views she gets and the numbers of subscribers that she has, realistically she could have sponsorships, I would think.
There's a built-in GPS. Well, your phone has the GPS, but the only way you can track how far you walk is with the GPS. I know there's those conspiracy theorists who think that I actually didn't do the walk. I saw a comment where
look what I just said.
All you did was swing your phone around. Don't worry, it follows the GPS.
That is true. That's not how it works. It's not like a Fitbit, because that's actually something I remember. I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember people used to say that that's something that they did whenever she lived with Destiny, is that they would attach their Fitbits to Twinkie, I think, and have Twinkie just run around the house to get steps in.
And then when you're done with the walk, it shows the little map part, where you walked, and you could add a picture. You can add your thoughts and your notes. And I just wrote that me and Twinkie had a wonderful time. I definitely recommend the app because without it, I would have never known how far a mile was.
Sure.
And now I know exactly the route I took, so I don't even need the the app next time. But I'm going to want to use the app because I feel like since I did the mile in 52 minutes, I feel like I could do it like quicker next time.
Yeah, but realistically, if you know the route you take is a mile long, then you could just time yourself with a regular timer, like on your phone, or I don't know if you have an Apple Watch, but like one of those things. Anyways, whatever. Next day!
Hello, guys.
Hi.
12. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Do y'all remember, what was her name? Ann something or another? She was on the Today Show, but not for long. She was on it wasn't Katie Couric, but her name was Ann something. Why can't I remember her last name? I always thought she was so iconic. But there was like compilations back in the day of her going, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. In the news this morning, good morning.
Why do these things live in my head? Who cares? Who cares? Nobody cares, Zach. Get back to Amberlynn. That's what people are here for.
It was hit. Normally people say hit by a semi-truck, but I feel like it was hit by a toy car.
Wait, what was? Wait. Let me start over. I went off on that whole tangent right there.
My body feels like it was hit. Normally people say hit by a semi-truck, but I feel like it was hit by a toy car. Because I do feel that walk from yesterday. It's nothing insane.
What does she think getting hit by a toy car feels like? Because, I mean, I guess it depends on how hard it's being thrown at you. But a toy car, that analogy don't make no sense. Even if you're only hurting a little bit, like, any amount of pain that you would have from this walk, I would imagine is more than a toy car. I wouldn't think a toy car would hurt that much at all. Like maybe initially for a little tiny bit. I'm thinking also of one of those little Hot Wheels. Maybe she's thinking of the little Barbie Jeeps that people drive. And by people, I mean children.
But my body feels it.
Okay.
If you hear that water dripping, it's because we have to lightly have the faucet dripping because it's so cold here. Freezing temperatures.
I wonder how cold it is in Oklahoma. I mean, it was like, I went to volleyball this morning and it was like -6 degrees when I left. It was fucking miserable. Very, very annoying.
So, it's to prevent the pipes from like freezing, I guess. I don't know.
She
I just
sure
got an
doesn't
email
know.
about it from the apartment complex, so I'm just listening to them. It's time to weigh in.
Let's go.
Hello. It's ready.
Stepping on.
Let's see.
506 pounds.
509.6.
Oh, wow.
Yay. We're out of the 510s.
Let's
now
go.
We're in the single digits.
Let's go.
All right.
I know what she means by single digits, but it's also wild because like, also it's like still 509. That's not a single digit, you know? Maybe that's just the former math major in me.
509.6. I wrote that so sloppy because I was looking at it through the camera. Let's not do that.
Is it any? I guess it's a little squiggly. I was like, it looks pretty close to your other handwriting, but I can maybe see what she means a little bit.
Again. Yesterday was an on-track day. So
Uh-huh.
I feel like soon I'm going to explain to you guys, like, what does on-track look like versus off-track.
I would like to know about that a little more.
I'm prolonging that because I know it's going to be confusing to a lot of people, but it makes sense in my head.
There's so many things she's going to talk to us about in the future that at this point, I feel like I've forgotten what she said she will and will not talk about in the future. Because, honestly, what was the other thing? The TLC show or whatever. There was some story with that she told us she would talk to us about in the future. She said many times that she would tell us more of the story when it came to the old weight loss surgery stuff, and she has it. And it's always also just so funny that she's like, and maybe in the future I'll try to tell you this, when it's like, this video is only 13 minutes long, right? Like, you could talk for a couple minutes about your system here. If you want me to sit here and watch you give a frowny face or a heart every day, you might as well let me know what you're talking about. But also the other thing that I think is interesting about it, I think somebody either messaged me about this, I think they messaged me on somewhere, about this, but they said, Zach, don't you think it's interesting that she always writes down whether or not she had a good or a bad day after she has her weigh-in? And to some extent, I'm like, I get what you're saying, because I agree, because it's like, oh, what are we basing it on? Because like she just said, she hasn't really said what a good day or a bad day looks like. But I also do know that there was that one day, I think it was just last Tuesday, the 9th, where she had said the day before that it was a good day, and she still gained weight according to her daily weigh-in. So I don't know. I mean, that's why I wish she would just tell us, like, how do you make this assessment? What goes into it? Because a lot of people, I think, are like, well, she's just putting whether or not she lost weight or not, and that's how she's deciding she had a good day or a bad day.
But as of right now, if I can sit here and say yesterday, I am proud of yesterday, then that's what makes it an on-track day for me.
Okay.
But if I sit here and I go, not so proud of the choices I made yesterday, that's what's gonna make me have an off-track day.
I feel like waiting until the next day also is maybe also too late. I don't know. I think it would be a good end of day reflection, like before you're going to bed. She's always journaling anyways. I feel like it would be a good idea to be like, and I'm no expert, just to be clear, not an expert whatsoever, but in my mind, like, it would be good to reflect on at the end of the day. It was like, how was today? What were the things? But maybe that's just for me as, like, somebody who often can't even remember what I did the day before. Like, maybe that would be helpful.
I'm freezing.
Come on, turtleneck.
Yeah, so today we have a turtleneck, and I'm gonna put on my jacket.
Okay, diva.
So a lot of people got snow, and thankfully we did not get snow.
We have
snow.
snow.
The snow is coming. I feel it in my bones. It is so cold out there.
In my bones.
Yesterday when I did my walk, it was just like, I would say it was like 57 degrees, which felt really good. Now it's way below freezing. So, Twinkie will go bodies. Now that I've been awake and doing things, when I took Twinkie out earlier, just a few hours ago, I think like being up and like moving my body made me feel so much better. Now I don't feel like I was hit by a toy truck. I actually just feel...
I need her to stop saying she was hit by a toy truck. That is not gonna hurt that bad for that long. If you're feeling any residual pain today, you got hit with something bigger than a fucking toy truck. Okay?
Oh, good. So, yay. I just wanted to answer this because I've been seeing it like float around. People are saying that my weigh-ins are fake and that there's a lot of editing to them. I do edit my videos a lot. That's why you guys constantly see like...
We're back to editing Lynn, who's editing her videos so much. Her videos are so edited. She puts so much work into them while she's sitting on the toilet editing them on her phone. She puts a lot of work into them, you guys. You just don't understand editing like her. But also, I don't know. At this point, if I were her, okay, I just don't know that I would defend, personally, the weigh-ins. Because no matter, she could do everything. She could have a whole film crew out there showing every single angle of the weigh-in, showing her every part of her weighing in, and people wouldn't believe her. I've been on this corner of the internet for so long. People always think she's lying. Okay, so I don't know that there's anything realistically Amberlynn could say or do to have people believe her, because I think people will just continuously not believe her, and that has been par for the course for as long as I've watched her.
Cuts. Like I literally just did one there, and then I did one there, and there. It's how I've always edited my videos. Wait.
That's so dumb. She's like, I do cuts. Yeah, you're cutting out just like empty air. I do those too, and I'm not acting like it's the hardest editing I've ever done. I'm just being honest with you. You might want to watch that again, because she every time she does a little editing thing, she really thinks she eats that shit up. She really thinks she ate.
And that there's a lot of editing to them. I do edit my videos a lot. That's why you guys constantly see like cuts. Like I literally just did one there.
You just did one.
I did one there, and there. It's how I've always edited my videos, and the reason why that like specifically, the weigh-in videos are like that is because there is a lot of dead air. I'm sitting there waiting for it to turn on.
Sure.
In between hello and it's ready, there's like 5 seconds of just like dead air. I just take it away. And then when I step on the scale, it takes another 5 seconds for it to finally
You know what?
ready.
I'm not even, now that I think about it, now that I've had time to reflect on it, she doesn't care about whether or not y'all think she lies or not. She doesn't care if you think she's lying about her weight. She really just wants y'all to know how amazing at editing she is. She said, I am a professional and I will ask that you all put some respect on my editing credentials. Here is the receipts, the timeline, the proof, the screenshots, everything.
So I just take that out as well. The weigh-ins are 100% authentic. They're real. I don't know how I can fake
so
weigh-in.
raw, you guys.
I know that that's like a hot thing in this section of YouTube is that people think that me and Chantel both fake weigh-ins.
I do think Chantal fakes well, I don't know how I feel about whether or not Amberlynn does or doesn't. I do think Chantal does, and that's because Pete's told on her. Pete's full on exposed her for it. Pete's was like, yeah, this scale's been broken for a long time. It's not accurate. And yeah, so Pete's told on her ass for that. I do believe that. I believe Pete's when he says that.
I highly doubt she's doing it because she's being blamed for the very same thing I'm doing, which I have never done that.
Never.
And I never will do that. That's too much.
I wouldn't go out on a limb for old Chantal Marie Chantal Show, Foodie Beauty, Flobby Bobby, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal Arafe, Foodie Dookie, whoever, whatever, you know. I personally would not go out on a limb for her.
Honestly, that would just be hurting me. And it would be hurting the people who support me and the people who are watching me to see me succeed. Yeah, the only reason why there's tons of cuts is just because that's the way that I edit. I edit every single editing queen that I film, just like
every
that.
single one.
The reason why that I don't show myself when I am stepping on the scale is because I weigh myself naked. I feel like once I get to like 490, I will just step on the scale with some clothes on, call it a day, show you guys.
Realistically, though, I will say, I don't know what the difference between being 490 and 509 is for her. I would say, honestly, do whatever you want. but I'll understand why at 509 you feel like you can't weigh it with clothes on, but at 490 you can and show yourself, you know? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like that's only going to add to the conspiracy theories, if we're being honest, and that's why I'm like, girl, I don't think you can win. I don't think you can win with the people that don't believe you aren't going to believe you, you know? And I do agree that if she is lying, the only person she's hurting is herself. Also, this is the most unfortunate freeze frame. Why does her face look like that? I gotta unpause. I have to unpause.
My mom filming or something, just because it's not that I want to like prove myself to people. It's just, it makes me sad that people actually think that I would lie about something as silly as that, because if that was the case, I would make myself a lot smaller than in the 500s. I could tell you that right now. I just think it's beyond silly that there's always just this rumor that I'm faking my weigh-ins, and I've never done that.
I mean, it does always confuse me when she's like, I don't understand why people would think that I would lie about something so silly like that. Well, that's kind of like, I mean, lying about silly things is kind of what you're... lying about not serious things and silly things, okay? Or lying about serious and not serious things. Ooh, the words are kicking my ass today. The English language is kicking my ass today. But lying in general is kind of like what you've built a lot of your channel on. So for you to be like, it's so silly that people think I'd be lying about it when like you've fully established your channel based on like trolling and lies. I think there's plenty of reason and motive there for you to do that, to engage in lying about your weight. And I also always think it's a really bad defense as well when she's like, I would make myself so much skinnier. Why wouldn't I make myself like 490? Why would I put myself in the 500s? Because people would be like, it has to be, if you're gonna lie, it needs to be believable, right? Like, I don't know that anybody would believe that you were 490 right now or whatever. So, anyways, it's a bad argument. It's a bad argument on her end. But either way, I still stand by, she's never gonna win. She really isn't. And, you know, I think that's based on her own web of lies that she's built on this channel, to be honest.
Like an ongoing thing for, I don't know, at least 6 years. And I'm just like, there's never been a reason that I would ever do that. Like, that's wild. Y'all, I'm in the dark right now. It does not matter what I look like, but there was just an earthquake.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I was sitting here and I heard like a loud noise, and all of a sudden I felt shaking, like it was like wobbly. And I was like, am I tripping? Like, did someone like hit the building?
Tripping?
And then I was like,
are you tripping? You gonna have another dangling ankle?
Like, I'm in Oklahoma. There's a freaking tornado. That is like where my brain went. But then I was like, but I don't hear a tornado. Like,
I wish there was more water in here.
But it was an earthquake.
I'm so thirsty.
It was a 4.4 magnitude.
I really do care about. I'm glad she's safe from the earthquake. I've been in one earthquake in my life before. When I went to undergrad, it was in Southern Illinois, and I had never experienced it before, but it did wake me up in the middle of the night. And I was spooked. I thought somebody was in my room shaking my bed. I thought somebody had broken into my dorm room and started shaking my bed. I was very nervous, actually. But I'm glad you made it through the earthquake, girly pop.
An earthquake? It's giving California. Like, I've been in a couple earthquakes.
Why did you laugh like that?
I haven't been in one since I lived in California.
I can't focus. I know that this is like a very serious part of the video, although she's clearly fine. So I apologize for not taking it more seriously. Her laugh just took me out. It caught me off guard.
When I was 18, and I'm 33 now. So, wasn't expecting that this winter. You guys, I have flopped so hard today when it comes to my eating. I have not been on track, and I fought it all day. I purposely, I used to say sitting with the discomfort a lot. I'm sure you guys remember that.
I do recall. I feel like that was just a year ago, but I don't really remember when the discomfort moment situation type of deal happened. Every video she was sitting with her discomfort, and I was too. I was sitting here in discomfort.
I sat with it hard. Like, there were moments where it was so uncomfortable, and it just gave me so much anxiety.
Oh, that reminds me of old K is for Karen. I react to her sometimes on my Twitch channel, and I don't even remember the context for her saying it, but she goes, when I love hard. I love hard. It's just like, ooh, okay, all right. We sat with that discomfort hard. Anyways, go watch my Twitch re-upload channel here on YouTube. It's called Zachary also, in case you're interested in some non-Amberlynn Reed content. It's always linked in the description box down below.
Being a food addict is rough. Sometimes, like,
I'm Sala.
The craving or the urge is so powerful that, like, if you don't get it, you just feel like you're gonna go crazy a little bit, like you're gonna go mad. I know for me, like, when I do sit with the discomfort, sometimes it gets really emotional for me. I know that I was triggered today massively. I just wanted to numb myself. Very much like emotional eating.
Okay.
Not having to think about, like, reality a little bit. Not having to think about, like, emotions and how I'm feeling. And I've been trying to do the Lego and trying to just, like, distract myself super hard in that way. And it's like I was able to successfully for hours, like, just deal with, like, the urges to mess up and just, like, eat. But I don't know what happened.
This is like why I'm like, I do want her to get into therapy so much, because I just feel like if she went in with intention, she could be having this conversation. Well, I mean, like, obviously you can't just call up your therapist. Well, most people can't just call up their therapist. I guess maybe you might be able to. But in most situations, you can't just call up your therapist when you're feeling these feelings, right? But, like, one thing that I found to be helpful with various therapists in my life is, like, having them help me come up with a plan for when I do experience, like, anxiety, right? Because I have generalized anxiety disorder. So, like, what are the things that I'm going to do in the moment when it's happening, when I don't have my therapist there present with me or whatever it might be? And I just feel like, you know, that might be something. This is like, seems like such an easy thing to be like, hey, therapist, sometimes this thing happens where I feel so emotional and I want to turn to food and it's very uncomfortable. What are some things that I can do to work through that? And then if you do mess up or have a bad day or whatever, take note of that, go back to your therapist and say, hey, these are the things that worked. I did these things that we talked about and they didn't work. I still caved in. Let's circle back and see what some other things we can do to help with that might be, you know? I'm not a mental health professional, but those are things that have helped me in my experience in therapy. And I do think sometimes y'all appreciate hearing about my therapy experiences. Obviously, Amberlynn and I are very different people. Obviously, her interactions with a therapist might look different. I just see the potential, and I know that she's looking for a therapist. She said that that's something she wants to do, so I hope that she does consider it. And if you feel like you're in a similar position, I hope that something I said was helpful. You know? You feel me?
I ended up caving, and I failed, and that makes me really sad. Because I feel like I'm letting myself down. I feel like I'm letting you guys down. But, like, I have to be realistic with myself.
Maybe feel like you're letting yourself down, but don't do any of this for me or anybody watching you, honestly. Like, most of the people watching you, for better or worse, like, don't really have your best interests in heart anyways. You just need to do this for you.
And I know that every single day, we aren't going to see a little heart in the corner of my calendar because it's not realistic at all. It's like I would love to just wake up and be perfect. I would love to just wake up and be like, I'm never gonna make mistakes again, and I'm never gonna overeat again. I'm never gonna order takeout again. But it's just like not realistic. I'm not always gonna have a little heart in the corner. It's like seeing so many of them consecutively inspires me and makes me realize that I can do this.
Okay.
And I know that as long as I have more good days than bad days, then that's progress, right?
Okay.
There's moments like this where I'm just like, dang, like the guilt is real. I wish I can go back in time and still sit with the discomfort, even though it was super uncomfortable. It gets painful almost. Like, I just don't know how to explain it. Like, you only understand it if you've been through it. And it just gets really, really, really freaking hard. And sometimes I'm strong. Sometimes I'm powerful. I don't know, I'm just not happy with myself right now, and I
mean, your feelings valid. I just would love for you to talk to somebody who can help you with that, you know? And I understand, like, the being frustrated that you messed up. I feel like that's valid, and people experience that feeling a lot. I don't know. I feel like we've just been doing it a lot, you know? This is par for the course. This is, I think the reason that I don't have a lot of, like, more uplifting things to say is, like this is often the conversation, you know? And this is what it sounds like when she messes up often. And I'm running out of things to say that I feel like are helpful or encouraging, and or, like, I mean, she's not listening to me anyways, which is fine, right? So, I don't know. Like I said about, like, if you're lying about your weigh-in, like, it's only hurting you, and, like, your choice to not, like, seek help to manage these feelings, emotions, etc., that's, like, also only hurting you, right? Like, that doesn't hurt me or anybody in your audience. Like, it only impacts you. And I guess I should also say is, like, people often also talk about, like, well, Zach, like, not everybody can go to therapy. Like, you shouldn't expect that. And I totally agree. Like, I think healthcare, therapy specifically, is, like, very inaccessible to a lot of people who could really benefit from it and use it and utilize it in ways to benefit their lives. I know not everybody can. I'm specifically talking about Amberlynn, who we know can do it, or at least has, like, demonstrated that she has the means to do it in the past. And that's why. That's why I say it specifically for her, you know? Like, I hope that, like, if you feel like you're in a place where you would really love to be in therapy and you can't, I hate that that's, like, how the healthcare system works, especially in America. I'm speaking also specifically to America. But, like, Amberlynn is somebody with means. Like, I promise you, I know how the YouTube AdSense money works. Like, she could find a way. Love could find a way. Her YouTube money could find a way. I promise you. I mean, I guess I don't know all of her finances. Maybe she blew it all at the casino or something, and I'm just, like, fully unaware. You know, I guess that's fair as well. Let me stop blabbering.
I wanted to, like, kind of just talk about how I was feeling, and my next weigh-in is not going to be cute. I know it's not. I was doing so good.
That's also so crazy because it's just one day, you know? Like, what happens tomorrow on the scale, like, it was one day of bad behavior, according to her, right? Like, I'm not attributing anything to her behavior or making a judgment about it, but she's sitting here talking about how is a bad day. Okay, it was one bad day. Like, let's just pick up and go the next day. And maybe that's also, like, if you're going to have fluctuation from one bad day, maybe that's why we shouldn't weigh in every single day.
Almost every weigh-in, and I know that I'm going to weigh in tomorrow, and there's going to be a weight gain, and I'm not looking forward to seeing that. But I'm hoping that it'll motivate me to, like be better.
She's dress rehearsing for tragedy. She also doesn't even know that tomorrow is going to be a gain. She doesn't know that yet. And unless she's, like, a psychic or something. Like, you don't even know yet. You haven't weighed in. Let's wait and see what happens. And then reassess and reevaluate what we're going to do next.
And I don't want to let, one night, one slip up ruin, my progress.
Exactly.
Okay, you guys. So the rest of this vlog is just a bunch of Lego talk.
I appreciate the content warning. I really do. I really do appreciate the content warning. I don't mind the Lego talk. I don't know that I'm going to have a lot to talk about it. So I'll watch, but if it's all Lego talk from here on out and it's boring, then this might be the end of the video.
I'm just warning you, because I know a lot of people don't really get the Lego bits. So that's why I try to just add, like, little tiny bits and pieces of my Lego talk in each vlog, because there's also people who really do enjoy it. But I did talk a lot about a couple Legos in this video, so I wanted to put it all in the end for the people who do enjoy it. So I hope that you enjoy.
I am obsessed with that. I am obsessed with that, and I feel like that is her maybe trying to listen to some feedback. So I appreciate that.
So I finished the Lego I was doing. So this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to go choose the next one I'm going to do. Okay, guys, so my option is a black car, a robot bear, modern art, or a Polaroid camera. And I know exactly which one I want.
We are going to leave this in because I feel like for the lore, for the plot, for the continuity, y'all need to know what Legos she is or is not working on and which one she's finished.
Try to guess. If you said car, you are wrong. I chose modern art.
Okay.
It looks so fun.
Oh my god.
Alright, guys, I am about to start my next Lego. Bag 1 complete. Bag 2
Oh wow, complete. Editing Lynn is plopped in.
Is now complete. Okay, so bag 4 is now complete.
She is really working through it. Damn, are we gonna finish this whole Lego in this video? I'm on pins and needles.
Is now completed.
Pins and needles.
Bag is finished. Okay, so bag 7, which was the last bag, is complete.
Okay.
So now I'm going to take all these and build the art.
Oh my.
Alright, so here it is.
Wow, we finished this all in one video.
The modern art.
She was really going, she was sitting with that discomfort while she did them Legos.
There's the mouth, the eyes. But since there was several options of what modern art to make, there's like all these extra pieces. So I think I'm going to use a couple of them and just kind of edit this. Okay, so I changed a few pieces, and I don't know what it was, but I really wanted to use these guys, so I definitely had to make room for those, but there it is. I could not stop doing this one. Like, I genuinely found this one to be one of the most fun ones that I've done recently. I hope that you guys enjoyed my little Lego talk.
Sure, I guess.
See you guys in the next one. Bye.
Besties, I'm sorry, the energy kind of went down at the end, which I guess, like, I don't know why I'm specifically apologizing for that, because it wasn't my video, but I feel like the energy dipped at the end, and, yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. Hope she gets the help she needs, and that's all I got for ya. Thank you so much to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. You can use code Zachary55 off to get 55% off of your first month of Scentbird. Please check out the links down below if you want to check it out. That's all I have time for today. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!